We're back. And I'm short. Now I'm too tall. There we go. We'll get this situated one of these days. We'll figure it out. I just about finally got all my settings straight in the old setup, and now I'm in an entirely new and different one. Welcome one, and welcome all to the one, the only Junk Shop Library channel, home of, among many other strange and exciting things, Improv Bible Study. The atheist Bible study where we read every last verse of the King James Bible of 1611 and then rip at the new asshole it so deserves, being the outdated, misogynistic, misanthropic, and generally crap piece of literature that it is. That sounds intriguing to you? By all means, stick around, see what we've got. If that seems offensive to you, maybe stick around anyway. It's fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I should also mention that much like the source material, this Bible study is not, I repeat, not let me say it again clearly, not for children. All right, my ass is covered. The children have been warned off. And I've got my, dare I say the C word? Coffee. Welcome one, welcome all. It's so good to have you here, and it's so good to be back after a lengthy absence due to circumstances entirely beyond my control. As those of you who've been with me for a while know, we recently had to relocate the library due to, as I said, circumstances beyond my control and a long and boring story that I'll not bore you with here and now. But we're here. We're in the new set. We've got a box of books that looks like a box of gin because it started out life as a gin bottle box. That's how you move when you're in the South. You go to the liquor store and you take all the boxes your car can carry, and then you pack up all your books in them. All right. Well, I've about forgot how to do this. It's been so long. It's been, who knows, y'all? We're in election season in a quarantine year. Time no longer has any meaning. But I do know the one thing that is an inevitable must and a thankfully always required need. I've got to thank my patrons. Y'all know you're here for, damn it, it's on the other side. Improv Bible Study. Yeah, shut up, Mark. We know. You've got a Kindle. You've got a Kindle. But Improv Bible Study is brought to you today by the financial support of these fantastic folks you see listed in alphabetical order here at the bottom of the screen. These are the folks who keep the channel on the air, who keep the channel up and running, and who keep the channel, hopefully, improving as time goes on. Certainly helping me more prolific as time goes on. Those of y'all who've been with me a while, remember back when the quality was significantly less, the clips significantly shorter, and the schedule hopelessly erratic. We are now on something approaching a schedule once again. Some of y'all were here for our re-inaugural installment of Mental Health Thursdays yesterday, and here we are for Improv Bible Study yet again, the flagship piece here on the channel, the series that put us on the map, which would not still be here were it not for the fantastic folks listed in alphabetical order here. Atheist Pastor, Aunt Jer, B, Bill, Brainbug, Mark Caesar, Paul Kamish, Gary, Ilya Moon, Kim, the Lavender Lady, Linda, the Lone Wanderer, Mama Atheist, Nikki, new patron Ox PMA, Rain, Robert X, and Santi the Same. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and thank you so very, very much. It makes all the difference in the world. You just wouldn't even believe. All right, now it's time to check. I've got to do something about this camera. I'm closer to the floor than I'm accustomed to being. There we are at the normal height. Now let's see. There we go. Okay, that's better. Time to check in with chat and see what's going on out here in library land. We've got Edward. Proverbs are the worst. I agree. No, I don't, because we only got into Proverbs by virtue of getting out of Psalms alive. Psalms was a goddamn nightmare. Eric, hello, welcome. Mark Caesar, the man from down under himself. Ox PMA, good to see you, as always. Paul Kamish is in the back. Cleanliness being as it is next to godliness. Amen. Well, thank you, Paul. I do my best. I do my best. Edward wants to know, is there a story behind the rings? Okay, let's see. This one's my wedding ring. This one's my pride ring. This one's my memento mori skull ring. Old goths never die. They just turn a lighter gray. And this one's just clunky and heavy and looks weird, and I like it. That's the extent of the stories there. The Book of Junk Shop. Yes, you've been with us a little while, have you not, my friend? Yes, Ox, you got the format down right. I read, y'all listen, and we all make fun of it together. That's what we're here for. Spooky Bed Hair, good to see you. Hadn't seen you in a hot minute. Little Wolf sneaking in thinks I'm not going to notice. Hey, Alaska, how's it going? Amiga Nuts, dropping all the links. Good to see you, as always. King of the Shills, turning the chat blue with the links. Amazing. Thank you. No, you are not chopped liver. It just took me a while to work my way down through the chat. All righty, so how's everybody doing this fine festive day? Day 300,000,012 of the American election season and day 8,009,000,000 of quarantine. Some of y'all are in super lockdown right now because some of y'all are in the UK. I'm so sorry for what y'all are going through. I've got some friends in various online communities who are trapped in their little bubbles in various occasions around the UK. Locations around the UK, and on not a great deal of notice, as if memory serves. Let me see what's going on. If something wrong with my second screen over here. There we go. Top-notch technological entertainment here. Look out, Chris Mallard. I'm coming for you. Coffee with cocoa. There's a classic. I like it. Oh, yes. Strange assortment of states trending for Biden. Yes. We might be out from under the heel of fascism yet. Who knows? We'll find out. All right. My goodness gracious. I've got notifications, and more notifications everywhere. All right, so we've chitted, we have chatted, we have thanked, we have shouted out, and we have touched base. So it's that time, is it not? We got to see if we remember how to do this. I checked just before we got started. I did indeed mark out the chapter the last time we gathered together, so I know that we're here for Proverbs chapter 11. None of that repeating a chapter in a repetitive text like I'm never going to let myself live down. I did that one time back in Psalms. Hey, Never Again, good to see you. Welcome. Oh, Never Again said the C word. You got to be careful. Paul, climb out of that bath and come for us all. All right. You know what I just realized? My reading glasses are downstairs on the kitchen counter. We will just have to make do. See what Proverbs chapter 11, what wisdom it has. Can't stop here. This is back country. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth suretyship is sure. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. They that are of a froward heart are abomination to the Lord, but such are upright in their way are his delight. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is that scattereth, and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. And there's Proverbs chapter 11. Now that is more what I was remembering Proverbs as having been. You remember we had a couple of chapters a while back that went on and on and on, rambling about the strange woman and the good woman, and talking about how wisdom is a woman to be prized above all one's concubines of the earth, and how if you do right by her, she'll do right by you, and all this stuff. And it was all very flowery and very abstract and full of metaphor and all this sort of stuff. But this is more like what I remember Proverbs being from when I was a kid. The good man shall reap good things, and the bad man shall be spanked. You know, and over and over and over and over and over in every countless conceivable repetition, every permutation, every way you could possibly phrase exactly the same sentiment, repeated again ad nauseam, and then again. Oh, riveting stuff, ain't it? My God. It's just, I mean, you see where Shakespeare took some of his inspiration from for some of his advice-giving soliloquies, right? Or monologues. A soliloquy is the one you do when it's just you yourself on the stage, right? A monologue you can do in company. I've never, yeah, see, never again. There you go. How is this different than karma, for real? I mean, seriously. I mean, that whole chapter, you could have just used verse 31, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, and much more so the wicked and the sinner. Do good shit. Good shit will come to you. And vice versa. You don't need an entire book of Proverbs for this crap, because that's what this is boiled down to this entire damn time. Oh my Lord. It just, I understand that it's poetry. Really, I do. Really and truly, I do. But it just... it's so boring. Y'all, it's so tedious. I mean, really, do we have to have this? I mean, Mark's right. It is the Bible. Verbosity is mandatory, but is it that mandatory? And does it have to be this verbose? Couldn't it be just a skosh less verbose? I mean, what do you really need 30 repetitions of exactly the same construction with slightly different verbiage? You could have got away with 15. Needs an editor. My God. Bronze Age drunken poet version of Stephen King up in here. Somebody buy this man an editor and I'll recompense them after the fact. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Is there anything else to get out of that other than verbosity is mandatory and ain't nothing going on? I don't think so. Doesn't look like y'all do either. All right, well, we'll move on then. How long is Proverbs? Anybody remember? I don't know if I can take much. Oh, shit. Lord have mercy. Fuck me running. Let's see. 29, 30, 31 chapters. Okay, so we're closing in on halfway through. We'll finish eventually. Ox says it's been edited so many times there can't be any truth in it. Well, there's that. There is that. The world's longest running game of telephone that we've got up in here. Tell you what I don't have up in here is any writing utensils, so y'all just going to have to keep me honest and remind me next time where we left off. See how I passed that off? See how neatly I passed that buck right over to you? I've been training for this my whole life. All right. Chapter 12. God, that is some harsh lighting. I'm going to get the lighting in here figured out one of these days. Remember, we've only been set up for 3 days. So, bear with. Bear with. Oh, Ox, if only we were in Revelation. But we probably got another 2 years to go before we get there. It's taken us 2.5 to get this far, and we're only halfway through this fucking thing. Ah, good thing y'all like me. 12. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. That's what it says. I don't know what to tell you. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. And the wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He that speaketh truth sheweth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but the counselors of peace there is joy. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. And there we have chapter 12, where we do exactly the same tedious shit we did in chapter 11, except we do it mostly about what you say, as opposed to what you do. Are we really going to do this with every version of all the senses and every kind of action? I'm getting the sense that we are. Because we did a chapter about what you do. Now we did a chapter about what you say. Oh, this is like that stupid fucking children's song, you know, be careful little ears what you hear. Where it just repeats over and over and over and over the same tedious, self-righteous, self-conscious, thought crime shit. Except you just do it with eyes and then ears and then mouth and then heart and then brain and then liver and kidneys and bladder and toes and whatever. I don't know. Goodness gracious sakes alive. So yeah, another chapter that could have been boiled down to about 1.5 verses, but no, we decided it had to go on forever. Long. Was this author paid by the word? I swear to God. Okay. 13. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. Oh, goody. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressors shall eat violence. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and cometh to shame. Righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthroweth the sinner. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. The ransom of a man's life are his riches, but the poor heareth not rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly. A wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is abomination to fools to depart from evil. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. Yep. Same shit, different verse, as Mark Caesar says. Yep. Same old, same old. Here we go. Meganut's got the whole book right here. The old filleth up the brain with nonsense, so there is no space for sense. Yeah. It's just more of the same, you know? Do good shit, do good, and good shit will happen to you. But he that diggeth a pit shall trip and fall ass over tea kettle therein. This is long. This is entirely too long. If any one of us were to write a book this redundant and had the outright audacity to market it as anything other than blank verse in some shitty little corner of Amazon self-pub, never to see the light of day, we would be laughed out the goddamn room. This is atrocious. It's blank verse, and bad blank verse at that. Golly. Y'all, I'd forgotten how bad Proverbs was. I should have gotten a bigger coffee mug. All right. Wow. This is tedious. I miss the good old days of the slime pits of Siddim. Random appearances by Fichel, captain of the guard. This is rough going, y'all. This is rough going. Oh, dear me. We're going to do another chapter, though. We've only been going 34 minutes. It just feels like it's been a week and a half. Well, I went over to old Junk Shop's channel to see what was going on over there. And all they were doing was just complaining and complaining about how they were stuck with this self-assigned task that they had decided was a good idea. Dear me. I forgot about Proverbs, y'all. If I'm being totally honest, I had never read Deuteronomy, and I had forgotten about Proverbs. Thank y'all for sticking with me through this bizarre little journey. This, y'all are what's keeping me sane on this weird adventure. Mega Mug. I feel like there's a reference there that I'm not getting. Go, Little Wolf. No, I'm not going to mix coffee and tea. I wouldn't do that either to the coffee or to the tea. Okay, 14. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride. Yep, that's what it said. I'm not losing my mind, and I'm not pulling y'all's leg. Verse 3. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. A scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth. Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of the fools is deceit. Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. The heart knoweth his own bitterness, and a stranger doth not intermeddle with his joy. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Even in laughter the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways, and a good man shall be satisfied from himself. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that hath mercy on the poor, happy is he. Do they not err that devise evil? But mercy and truth shall be to them that devise good. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly. A true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. In the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoureth him hath mercy on the poor. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous hath hope in his death. Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, but that which is in the midst of fools is made known. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is against him that causeth shame. There we have Proverbs 14, where apparently we are so short of wisdom that we have decided to retread the steps we have already trodden and just put the back before the front. Because we've gone over some of these same Proverbs literally, exactly, just in the chapter or two previous, just backwards. You know, the foolishness of the fool is folly, but the wisdom of the wise is wisdom. Except this time around, it's the wisdom of the wise is wisdom, but the foolishness of the fool is folly. Great wisdom there. Glad we preserved that incredible insight down through 300 years of holy war. I don't know. Don't forget that rod of pride in the mouth. I just report them. I don't make them up. I ain't write this shit. This is a pain. These poetry books are awful. Psalms was a nightmare. Proverbs is no better. Jesus Christ. And it's also got this weird kind of gross works righteousness business going on, this sort of early shades of prosperity gospel doctrine, where you can tell, you know, where it says things like the reward of wisdom and righteousness is riches, but if you're poor, you must have done fucked up somehow. That's how it reads literally. That's before translated into the King James. That's what it reads literally in the Hebrew. You done fucked up somehow. It's idiom. Yeah, Little Wolf points out, at least I'm not alone. Yes, thankfully, I've got some friends along for the ride. Don't think I'm not grateful for that, y'all, because Jehoshaphat. All right, so we've done what we hear, or what we say, and what we do. And then we've done what we do except backwards. What do you reckon we're going to get to in chapter 15? I'm sure it's going to be just as awesome and riveting as it ever has been along the way. I have had the magical coffee fairy visit me. Thank you, my love. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ah, yeah, upside down. Maybe so. Never again says she had the county inspector quoting Bible verses to her today.
Ugh.
That's weird and gross and entirely possibly illegal. Yeah, weird.
He's acting on behalf of the government.
That's ugh.
Okay.
You find your own tree. All right. Well, 15. 15. Oh boy. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Oh good. A talking crime chapter. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so.
Didn't you just read this?
The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. How much more than the hearts of the children of men? A scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither will he go unto the wise. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. The way of the slothful man is as an hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good is it! The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the thoughts of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. There we have Proverbs chapter 15, the half-assed chapter. What? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what hell means in this context. Because as we've noted before, there's some lazy ass, half-ass translation moments in the King James where they just didn't fucking know what something was, and so they just made shit up or inserted stuff from their culture, and then it trickled down through the next 400 years of translation. Yeah, Little Wolf, you're not the only one lost with this one. I mean, that was some half-assed problem. That's like some 8th grader was told to emulate the style of Proverbs and just sort of maketh shit uppeth. as was the last chapter, honestly. The foolishness of the fool is folly. I mean, really? How fucking stupid. You know you missed me. How fucking stupid is this shit? The foolishness of the fool is folly. What the absolute hell? Come on. This is what's known as the wisdom books section. Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon, smack dab in the middle after the history and before the prophecy, called the wisdom books. This is what qualifies as wisdom? The foolishness of the fool is folly. Give me a fucking break. Jesus Christ. Oh, I don't know. I mean, this is terrible. At least in Psalms, there was some poetry. It was boring. It was repetitive as hell. There were only about 4 different kinds of psalms, and most of them were oh God, you are so great. Your ass is so beautiful, and I delight in the kissing thereof. But I mean, this is dreadful. And honestly, I can't tell at this point if it's bad translation or I'm not sure where my other. Oh no, I know where they are, and it's too far for me to trek off and get them right now. But I mean, really, the foolishness of the fool is folly. I'm never gonna let that go. Wisdom books, my ass. Foolishness of the fool is, yeah, that was some religious literary gold. Not, says Amiga Nuts. Exactly. What the hell am I reading? That's what I want to know. Foolishness of a fool is folly. And I'm sorry, how many more times are we going to have some iteration of he that taketh advice is smart, but he that ain't listened to good is a dumbass? We've had various versions of that, like 9 times in the last 3 or 4 chapters that we've done today. Can't it just be a really dumb author, says Never Again, who can't articulate anything well? It could be. It could be. I mean, maybe that's what we're dealing with here. Maybe it's just a shit book. Maybe I'm trying to give it too much credit by saying it's a, by trying to blame it on weird translation moments and scribes going for tea breaks and not remembering where they were when they left off and overcopying the same shit because you weren't allowed to make any marginal notations in the original. Maybe it's just a shit book. Junk Shop 2020. Maybe it's just a shit book. Welcome to the Big Book of War Crimes and Outdated Regulations, Utter Madness and Abuse. Maybe it's just a shit book. Get your Big Book of War Crimes merch at the link in the description. Maybe I ought to make a coffee mug with that on it. Maybe it's just a shit book. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Paul says the writers of the Bible didn't drink tea, coffee, I think. That's some serious aspersions to cast on my beverage of choice. I thought we were friends. All right, well, here's the problem. We've been going 55 minutes, and normally I'd start wrapping up right about now, but that was an odd-numbered chapter. Can't do it. Can't do it. Got to end on an even. Thankfully, 16 ain't too long. And at the rate we're going, all it'll say is, the foolishness of the fool is folly and maketh thy broke ass broke. Just like the last 4 fucking chapters have. Ugh. 16. The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue, is from the Lord. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Y'all remind me, I want to come back to verse 4. Every one that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. By mercy and truth iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord men depart from evil. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth transgresseth not in judgment. Well. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are his work. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him that speaketh right. The wrath of a king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. In the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favor is as the cloud of the latter rain. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather than to be chosen, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Better is it to be of a humble spirit with the lowly, than to divide the spoil with the proud. He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in the Lord, happy is he. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the instruction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. He that laboureth, laboureth for himself, for his mouth craveth it of him. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is as a burning fire. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. He shutteth his eyes to devise froward things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. The hoary head is a crown of glory, if it be found in the way of righteousness. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. There we have chapter 16. Exactly more of the wretched same, except from the king's perspective, and a reminder that if you pleaseth not the king shall smiteth off thine head. Those are the lyrics, if not the text. Yeah, Amiga Nuts, exactly. Riveting stuff. All right, so I wanted to go back to verse 4. Why did I want to revisit something in this stupid fucking book? Oh, verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Now that's some Calvinist shit, is it not? My stars and gallows. The Lord hath made the wicked for the day of evil. That's an easy way to pass a little judgment upon the less fortunate among ye, is it not? Highwaymen fell upon you while you were traveling to do business? Well, the Lord hath made the wicked man. Thou must somehow have fucketh up, or the Lord would not have visited that upon thy ass. It's that's some pretty toxic shit there. Finally get to, it only took us, what did we do today? 5 chapters, but there's finally something to do, something to get up on my soapbox and shake my anti-Bible finger until it goes blurry against the background. But seriously, I mean, that is some weird, toxic, divine right of kings shit there. If evil befalleth thee, it is because thou deservedst it. Shit. And not just that the Lord will send the wicked man to smite thee if thou strayeth, but that the Lord actually up and fucking made the wickedness and the wicked and the day, well, made the wicked for the day of evil, didn't make the day of evil. Just made the wicked in order to serve him upon it. And Little Wolf in the chat has it, punishing us for how he made us. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing really you can do to forestall the will of the Lord, but it's all part of the plan. And that, goodness sakes, you finally get something you can get your teeth into a little, and you start seeing how all of the bad, stupid, toxic doctrines came out of this stupid fucking book, and you wonder why it was left in there to begin with. I mean, we know why some of that was left in there, because King James especially commissioned this version and gave the scribes explicit instructions to skew the translation as much toward the supporting of the divine right of kings doctrine as they possibly could. And Never Again says it's not surprising so many of us raised in the church have daddy issues. That's some mental health Thursday shit. I don't know if I can touch daddy issues here this late in the street.
No.
Father, Junior, and the spook who sat by the door. Yeah. No, just the spook. Sorry, I 100% misread that. I would have sworn that was what that said. Oh, old junk shop is tired, y'all. It's been a long couple of weeks. We are going to wrap it here. We've done 5 chapters and ended on an even numbered chapter. We're halfway through the book. That was chapter 16. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs. So we're halfway through. That means probably at the rate we're going, assuming we, and by we I mean me, stick to the normal or the previously normal schedule of improv Bible study on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, same time, 3 Eastern. Probably looking at another 2 weeks in Proverbs if we average around, 3 to 6 chapters a week. or a week, a session. Oh dear. Paul, I've been trying to ignore your dad jokes in the chat, but this one's just too bad to pass over. How does Moses make his coffee? He brews it.
Oh.
Boo. Okay, well, what do you know? We remembered how to do this. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get back into the groove, if I'm being honest. So much of this has kind of been gotten a little muscle memory for a while. Hopefully I've dusted some dust out of the corners and crevices, and this at least feels a little bit new, and not just because of the new background. So anyway, thank y'all so much for coming. There's all kinds of junk. Y'all know the usual stuff in the description below. There's links to the merch. There's that incredibly strange website that has the weird fashion clothing down in the description. They reached out to me on Instagram. I don't understand Instagram. It's a strange place. Hey, Ricardo, good to see you. You're late. Hey, Mama Atheist, good to see you. You're late too. Somebody doesn't have their notifications on.
But they didn't work.
Or they didn't work. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Well, we are going to wrap it up here. Or they were busy. How could they possibly be busy? Am I not the most important thing in everyone's life like I am in mine? How could there be busy that I don't know, y'all. This is the part where I don't know how to wrap up my stream. Y'all know how I am.
We have to go to the pharmacy.
Okay, well that was easy. We have to
Get help.
Oh yeah, working, saving the world and stuff. That's good. That's important. Yeah, saving the world and fighting the good fight down there in the depths of the deep South.
And
Georgia!
Woo. Thank you, Mama Atheist.
Mama Atheist, Stacey Abrams, and everybody fighting the good fight down there.
Yeah. Black non-believers.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I'm so glad y'all all came back. I was afraid I might have bombed out and lost all my friends with that lengthy leave of absence I had to take. So glad to see I was wrong. Y'all stay safe out there. It's getting weird, and I very much fear we've got even weirder times a coming. So as we always say before we roll out of here, y'all know the drill. Everybody take care and be safe and stand against hate. And we will see y'all again same time on Monday. If you're patron, check Patreon. I'll figure out the way to link those links for the streams for the weekend one of these days. I promise. Bye now.